welcome to Jupiter U 2021. I'm Mayor Todd Wodraska, and I'm so glad that you signed up for this program. Interestingly, I actually did this program years ago, before it was even called Jupiter U. It was something called Inside Jupiter Government, and I remember as a aspiring elected official, I actually signed up for it, and it was a great program. So I hope you learn something about this beautiful town that we have, that I'm so proud to be the mayor of. It's my hometown. Grew up here, went to kindergarten through high school at Jupiter Schools. Now I'm raising a family here as well. So I'm going to walk you through some of the things about Jupiter statistically and our local government, and then talk about some projects. So Jupiter, as from taking a broad step back, we're about 23 square miles or 15,000 acres, give or take. And we love to brag that 22% of that is in green space, parks, natural areas, or preserves. We're the largest county in largest city or municipality in northern Palm Beach County. And usually in Palm Beach County, we talk about everything Riviera Beach and north as North County. In Jupiter, we've had a growth spurt. Certainly, we're about 66,000 residents as of the most recent census, and about 33,000 families. And we've had quite a growth spurt over the last 40 years. Back in 1980, we were under 10,000 people, and most of our growth has occurred over the last, say, 20 to 25 years as the southern part of the town has built out, including Abacoa, Maplewood Phase 1, and the areas kind of south of Tony Penna. We have about 3,300 businesses, mostly local, located in Jupiter. And the town of Jupiter has been in existence since 1925. As far as our budget goes, Jupiter is no different than any other government in the state of Florida. Fiscal year runs from October 1st of each year through September 30th. We have a tax rate of under 2.5 mils, which is tied to your property values. The bulk of our taxes are collected through property tax revenues and our millage rate. In our Jupiter form of government, we have what's called a council manager form of government. And one of the questions I get asked the most is mayor your full-time job? And the answer is no. I and my colleagues, we have 5 members of the Jupiter Town Council. I'm the mayor, so I'm the chairman of the meetings. But the 5 elected officials, actually, we all have jobs. We do get compensated to be elected officials. It's about $20,000 a year to be an elected official in the town. The mayor gets a little bit more than that. But everybody has their own job, and our meetings are held on usually on the first and third Tuesdays of every month. And it's expected that our elected officials do have jobs and livelihoods outside of being elected officials. But the responsibility rests with the town manager, who serves as the chief executive of the town, and then everybody that works for the town falls under the town manager, hence the council manager form of government. In some places, people are familiar with the strong mayor form of government, where the mayor is also the chief executive. That's not the case in the town. The largest example of that around here is the city of West Palm Beach. Usually there's a lot more politics at play when you have a strong mayor form of government. In the town of Jupiter, we are usually try to keep things as civil and as quiet and as apolitical as we can for a local level. So when it comes to delivery of services, there's a lot of questions that come up of what does Jupiter do versus what do other jurisdictions do. Probably the biggest question that we get is about the schools. The town of Jupiter has no jurisdiction or no control over any of the public schools. That is the sole jurisdiction of the Palm Beach County School District. It's the largest employer in Palm Beach County, and they're the ones who decide like school boundaries, classroom size, building new schools, things of that nature. We try to work closely with them, but we don't have any jurisdiction over the schools. Within the town, we do have our very own police department, the Jupiter Police Department. I'm sure you'll hear from during this program. They're paid for through Jupiter taxes, and they service our town. But on the fire rescue side, we actually contract with Palm Beach County to provide fire rescue. So all the 3 fire stations are housed and staffed by Palm Beach County employees, and we farm that out. Our sewer services are covered by the Loxahatchee River District, a special taxing district that's separate and apart from the town of Jupiter. But we do own our own water plant. So the Jupiter Water, which is award-winning water utility plant, is something that's governed by our town and me and the town council. And then when it comes to the network of roads throughout the county, it really depends on where you are and which type of road it might be. And it ranges from a state road to a county road to a town road. The main roads that the town is responsible for the most part, throughout the town are Tony Penna, Riverside, and the roadway networks throughout the non-gated communities all throughout the town. Whereas Indiantown, State Road, alternate A1A is State Road, and we have multiple roads that are county roads as well. So that's it as far as service delivery. Next, we'll get into some local projects. So one of the projects that wasn't actually something that the town had any say-so over really, but it gets a lot of attention, is the replacement of the US 1 bridge over there by the Inlet Village. And the US 1 bridge has been deemed by the Department of Transportation to need to be replaced. So just fixing it, no longer an option. So there are plans, and they will be replacing the bridge. The good news is that when they replace the bridge, it will be almost 50% taller, which will require it to open less. And we're hopeful that we'll be able to get it on a schedule, because anybody that's driven over that bridge during season knows that bridge opens pretty frequently because it's an on-demand bridge. So right now, the plans call for the bridge being shut down in 2023, so in about 2 years, the full detour begins. Now there's going to be a bunch of planning and detour rerouting beforehand, and it's probably going to be a 4-year construction project all in, and the bridge will be completely closed for a period of well over a year, most likely. This is going to create a tremendous challenge for our businesses north of the bridge up into Tequesta, and it's going to put quite a bit of pressure on our traffic throughout our area, but it is a necessary evil. Anybody that's ever tried to walk across the US 1 bridge or bicycle across it knows that it's extremely unsafe, it doesn't look very nice, and we're going to get a world-class bridge. So that's kind of the growing pains that we're going to be dealing with, and that's projected to begin in 2023. Another project that gets a ton of attention here at the town that we had really nothing to do with, and if we did, we would have voted against it, but the Bright Line or high-speed train that's going to be coming through the town. It's changed names on several occasions, All Aboard Florida to Bright Line Virgin, and I can't even keep track of what it's called anymore. But I am told that it's coming, and everybody has seen most likely the various intersection shutdowns by where the railroad crossings are, and that's them getting ready for the double tracking and getting ready for the high-speed trains to be coming through. Currently, they are working on a replacement of the Loxahatchee Trestle Bridge for a full replacement, because what's unique in Jupiter is that we have a bridge. There's 3 bridges along the high-speed rail route that are getting attention, and then over the Loxahatchee River, we are looking to get an improved opening mechanism. It's called a bascule that opens and closes for boat traffic. and they're going to make some improvements to hopefully allow voters to get in and out of there more frequently. But the Brightline high-speed rail, which right now runs between just Palm Beach and Miami, ultimately will run from Miami all the way up to Orlando. And their plans have not changed. They are still moving full steam ahead on coming through. And that will be, those plans, everything should be done probably within the year from the time that we've talked about this. So Brightline is coming. What we're hoping for are some improvements in terms of quiet zones, having less train horn noise throughout the corridor, and while it will be increased train traffic, the Brightline trains will be very, very quick. They'll be shorter than a typical traffic light because they're going at high rates of speed. The real question is, what's it going to do to the existing freight traffic, and that remains to be seen. But that's what we know about the Brightline projects coming through. And so it's always challenging. We're always trying to make improvements or make things better for quality of life, but sometimes we've got these projects that we're just going to have to deal with. So one of the projects that we're incredibly proud of here at the town is our new Jupiter Police Department and Data Center. Over the past 4 or 5 years, we have had some real close near misses with some hurricanes. Most notably Dorian, which battered the Bahamas, and there was a couple right before that, notably hurricanes Matthew and Irma, where there were pretty close misses. And what that did was we took advantage of the opportunity to recognize that our police facilities and our data center were woefully inadequate to handle a major storm. So we were able to utilize some tax dollars that were approved through a voting referendum back in 2016, and we allocated that money and we built for about $23 million a brand new police headquarters and data facility right there in Jupiter, right in the heart of our facility at the Town Hall campus, right next to Town Hall. For those of you who haven't had a chance to visit that area, it's really spectacular. We're very proud of it. We opened the facility during the heart of COVID. The project came pretty much within budget and on time, which is always exciting to report when you're dealing with local government and contracting in this day and age. And it's really a spectacular facility. It should be able to withstand up to a Category 5 storm. Let's hope that we never find out, but if we ever do wind up getting that nasty storm, we'll be ready for it. And then as part of that project, right next door to the new facility, we put together and had a Veterans Memorial constructed to honor those who have served in the town, and making sure that we take time to pay tribute to our veterans in our area, an initiative of the council, and that came up, and we were able to have a virtual opening of the Veterans Memorial on Veterans Day in 2020. And it's right next door. So if you get a chance to go over and take a tour of the new police facility, make sure you stop by and pay tribute and look at the Veterans Memorial. You can't miss it. It's right across the street. So those are two of the big municipal projects that we've been working on even throughout COVID. So very excited about those. Another project that we are very excited about is the overall expansion and improvements to the Jupiter Medical Center. The Jupiter Medical Center over the past 10 to 12 years has really grown and expanded into a regional world-class healthcare facility. And growing up in this area, it wasn't always that way. It was kind of a small little rinky-dink, might be too harsh of a word, but it wasn't considered, it didn't get national recognition like it does today. The Jupiter Medical Center just received approvals to expand their campus and improve their facilities. They just opened up a new cancer research facility, and they're constantly looking for ways to improve their campus and their footprint, and basically make it so that all of our residents here in Jupiter won't have to travel outside of the area to get world-class health care. It's really become a top-notch facility and really a crown jewel in the healthcare world over at the Jupiter Medical Center. So one of the big initiatives in the town over the past dozen years or so has been bioscience with the arrival of the Scripps Research Institute, as well as the Max Planck facility over there on Donald Ross Road, right near FAU. And because of those programs locating here, we actually landed the crown jewel in the bioscience area, and it's a project called Beacon Pharmaceutical. So Beacon Pharmaceutical is going to be located out by the Turnpike, just west of our Indiantown Road Turnpike interchange. And Beacon Pharmaceutical is a beautiful incubator space for helping out to bring bioscience companies from their initial stages and help grow and expand, and then make a substantial investment into the bioscience world. So we're really excited. I know that COVID has put a little bit of a hamper on their plans, but they're still committed to the area, and they're going to be bringing several high-quality jobs. And it's really exciting to see the bioscience cluster, after some stop and goes, finally take shape. And Beacon Pharmaceutical is going to be a major player in that space for decades to come. So many times people ask, what do you do as a mayor? What do you have to do? And the biggest job is I chair the meetings, and I'm sitting here in our Jupiter council chambers on the dais. And we run the meetings where we approve things like budgets that set the tax rate. We talk about ways to improve the quality of life for folks like you, whether it's coming up with traffic solutions or initiatives or things that we might want to do to improve our parks. But one of the main things we do is we consider new project approvals that come through. And so often we'll have a project that comes through the process, and then we'll sit here in these council chambers and we'll deliberate about whether a project is going to get approved or not. So one of the most recent and top of mind projects is called the Love Street Project, right there on A1A, right near the Square Grouper and Guanabanas. Most of you are probably very familiar with it so far. And so the Love Street Project is a redevelopment project that has just opened. Interestingly, they got their approvals way before COVID had hit, but some might say they actually lucked out a little bit with COVID, because it allowed them to hit the reset button and have a chance to really do their project the right way. The Love Street Project is composed of 2 buildings, but 4 restaurant concepts. It just opened early in 2021. And so it's a new concept. There's a restaurant called the Lucky Shuck. There's a restaurant called the Tackle Box, which is more of a grab and go type of concept. They have a high-end restaurant that's called the Beacon, and then there's also a rooftop bar that's referred to as Topside. So it's all very new. It's wedged in between the Square Grouper and the new Pelican Club, which is an events venue. For those of you who might have been coming here for years and years, that's where the old Harpoon Louie's used to be located. But so the Love Street Project is Jupiter's and the North County's kind of new, exciting project right there in what we call the Inlet Village. And everybody's super excited, and if you haven't had a chance to get there, I'd encourage you to do so. Another big project that got approval a couple of years ago is referred to as the Cornerstone Project. And the Cornerstone Project is on the corner of 2 of our busiest roads, US 1 and Indiantown Road. So think at the base of the bridge, right across the street from Harborside, on the south of Harborside, and just across the street from where like Outback Steakhouse is. And the Cornerstone Project is, you might have noticed, it's going through the demolition process right now. But it has been approved to be a luxury condominium building. It'll go from a very hardscape, without much landscaping, kind of ill-fitting building that's been there for decades, to a very highly landscaped, high-end condo with a little bit of retail on the first floor. So if you've seen some demolition going on at the base of the bridge, that's referred to as the Cornerstone Project. It has some major public benefits in the form of boating facilities that are going to be available to the general public when it's all said and done, and a project that we're looking forward to improve the overall gist of the town. Well, thanks for signing up for Jupiter U. I hope that you find this program helpful. The staff puts a lot of time and effort into doing this. We love our town. We recognize that we're in paradise. I'd encourage you to get involved. Sign up for a board or a committee. We live stream our meetings, so you can just watch them from the comfort of your own home, or you can come and check them out at 7 o'clock on the first or third Tuesdays of each month. But pay attention, sometimes they do get canceled. And like I always say, if anybody has any questions or complaints, please look up one of my colleagues and send them an email or complaint. But all joking aside, thanks once again for joining Jupiter U, and I hope you find it fulfilling. I'm Wodraska, the mayor of Jupiter, and I couldn't be more proud to say that that's the role that I serve. Thank you.